Hi everyone, what's up? Ellen is back, and in today's video I'm going to share more valuable information and insights from my study experience in Germany, hopefully useful for you. In my previous video about 5 steps how to enter a free German university, I mentioned that the hardest part for me personally in the entire application process was to choose out of the offers that I got where I actually want to study. Today I'm excited to share that I was accepted to 5 universities for masters in business. In general, I applied to 7 universities. That was also a mistake in my previous video. It wasn't 8, it was 7 universities, but it doesn't matter that much. The most important factor for me when I was shortlisting the universities were the relevancy of my bachelor degree, because I had bachelor degree in tourism and I wasn't sure if the masters in business are going to accept me with my bachelor in tourism. So I chose the universities that were not that strict in their requirements. It's usually very explicitly mentioned in their requirements. Some of the universities say that they're going just to count the subjects credit that you have relevant to business area, and those are more or less the universities that I relied on. If you have, like me, not specifically the bachelor degree in business but some other close areas, you might want to consider the universities that are not saying we are accepting only bachelor degree in business. Another thing was that I excluded GMAT requirement because I didn't want to waste another year preparing for this difficult exam, as I have already spent some time preparing for the certificate in advanced English, and I didn't want to go for another exam on top of that. That would mean like spending time and money to get this one exam for what? For getting into more prestigious master degrees? No, I'm fine with average master business degrees. So I decided I'm going to apply with what I have. On top of that, it's also very important your GPA. I had a higher than average GPA, which was a big advantage for me. It gave me higher chances for acceptance. Another thing was also the level of English. So I passed a certificate in advanced English, which is better in some cases because it shows that you have C1, and IELTS and TOEFL usually are like more general language tests where you take it and then it defines which level you have. In order to take CAE like I did, you already have to have C1 level. I shortlisted these 7 universities where I could fit their business program requirements. It was Fulda University of Applied Sciences, then University of Applied Sciences in Munich, Hamburg University, Technical University Berlin, European University Viadrina, which is in Frankfurt Oder. Don't confuse them, there are 2 Frankfurts in Germany. Then Mainz University of Applied Sciences. There are also 2 universities in Mainz. One is like Research University, University of Johannes Gutenberg, and another one is Mainz University of Applied Sciences. This is where I applied. And the 7th one was Friedrich Alexander University in Nuremberg, which is also quite a big research university. Out of these 7 where I applied, 5 of them gave me offer of place, which is great. I can make another video if you're interested. Comment below if you want to know how I wrote my motivation letter and my CV, or you can simply just go to the link in my bio and check the digital copies of my motivation letter, my CV. You can buy them for a small fee and use them for your application. What I want to say is that if you fulfill the criteria of the degree you want to apply for, it doesn't guarantee your acceptance. They look on the whole picture of your application, on everything. And I would say most of the major thing, the major deciding thing in your entire application is your motivation letter. You really have to work on it. So yes, go and check my examples if you want to make your life a bit easier. 2 universities rejected me. These were Hamburg and TU Berlin, so Technical University Berlin. They rejected me, I think, due to insufficient qualifications. They didn't specify the reason actually, and it was a long time ago. I don't really remember what was the reason of rejection, but I think most probably my credits in business subjects were not enough for them. The other 5 accepted me, and this is the most interesting part. When I received all of these 5 offers, I was like, okay, where I'm going to study. Also, I wanted to mention that I had tough competition at Nuremberg University. This university seems to be super prestigious in general, like any other big research university. They have like 1,000 candidates for a program where they have only 50 places. They accepted me preliminary, but then they requested me to write an essay on the topic, let me check, can international defense companies act socially responsible? How do you like it? It was like daunting for me at the beginning. I was not sure if I want to invest my time in writing this essay. Maybe I was just also lazy, but in the end I decided, okay, I'm going to complete it just for the sake of completion. Submitted it, and they accepted me too. So they're one of those 5 offers. The challenging part, choosing among the 5 offers, which wasn't on top of my mind. And I have never been to Germany before, only once for some Christmas market when I was studying in Netherlands. Yeah, I was studying in Netherlands as an exchange student, and I had like a short trip to Germany. I mostly relied on internet research, what I found on internet about Germany, about these universities, about the locations where they are, and just after careful consideration, I chose the University of Applied Sciences in Mainz. Now, when I went through all of that, I received my degree, I have a job, and I still live in Frankfurt area, which is not Mainz, but Mainz is not far from Frankfurt. I mean, I stayed in the place where I studied. I can say I made a good decision. Why I chose Mainz? First reason was that this was the University of Applied Sciences. In business, it is important. I was figuring out also, I had some experience of studying in research university. As I said, I was an exchange student for 1 academic year in 1 big research university in Netherlands, and they were heavily based on research. Like, we were doing lots of essays, lots of reading, philosophical concepts, and sometimes students were even asking where the heck we're going to apply all of these concepts. This is not really hands-on, this is not really for practical jobs, and I was studying tourism. And the professors were saying, yeah guys, I mean, you're right, this kind of high theoretical knowledge, academic knowledge, is either for those who want to stay in academia, or those who want to do science research, or those who are going to apply for some really high positions in some strategic places like NGOs or, I don't know, Ministry of Tourism whatsoever. Having that experience, having that in mind, I decided, okay, I don't have a goal to be in academia. I'm not going to pursue academic career, scientific career. I want to be purely in business, like practical hands-on area of business in some big companies, maybe audit, maybe I don't know, financial industry, where I ended up. For that reason, I don't really need to go to research university. I rather go to a applied sciences university, because they have teachers, they have people teaching classes from the industry. Like in my case, in Mainz, I had my professor, I don't know if he was a really professor, he was teaching us financial accounting, if I'm not mistaken, and he was still practicing financial management, financial accounting at KPMG. Another teacher for HR strategy, I think he was also from Lufthansa, he was consulting HR. That was for me very important, that I have people who have hands-on experience and they can share it with me, not the people who just read the books, who did science research, and then they're going to give me some theoretical concepts which have no value when you go into the field and you start working. Second reason why I chose Mainz was location. Mainz is very nicely located, close to Frankfurt, close to other cities like Darmstadt, Wiesbaden. Also very important, Frankfurt is an airport hub, and it's very convenient for internationals who want to go home, who want to travel. From that airport you can travel anywhere in the world. So as students we get in Germany, as a student, you pay your semester fee, which includes the transport ticket, and you can basically travel everywhere 24/7 using any kind of public transport with that ticket in the region where you live. In my case, it was also part of Hessen Bundesland and Rhineland-Pfalz, which Mainz is part of. And yeah, it was quite a big area where I could travel, I could visit friends in other cities, and everything was very close. So location was great, and at the same time it brought me to third reason, cost of living. Even though Mainz was close to Frankfurt, it wasn't that expensive as Frankfurt. Same goes for students who pick Munich. People who are going to study in Munich are going to have the highest cost of living in Germany. Frankfurt will be a little bit cheaper than Berlin, maybe a little bit cheaper than Frankfurt or same, and then Stuttgart and other big cities. But Munich is the most expensive. And when I received offer of place from Munich University of Applied Sciences, for me, the first reason I didn't want to go there was the cost of living. I expected that I would have to spend all my savings that I brought with me in Germany, and on top of that I would still have to work probably. And in Mainz I felt safe. I was spending around 500-600 euro per month back then. It was 5 years ago, and I didn't have to fuss about working right away. So the first year of my studies I could focus on my university and nothing else, and I only started working after the first year when it was necessary already to look for an internship, and that's when I moved from Mainz to Frankfurt. The fourth reason is quality of life. Mainz is, as I said, it's a charming city. It's located on the Rhine River. There is lots of things to do both in winter and summer. There is a huge promenade where you can go for a walk when the weather is nice, or also when it's not nice. I mean, weather in Mainz is not that severe, although the winters were a little bit cold. It offered everything one would need for a comfortable life. There are lots of cafes, lots of restaurants. It's safe. It's not that crowded. Transport communication is very good in Mainz. There are different shops, supermarkets everywhere. It also has it was a big advantage. It had different dormitories, which I covered in my previous recent video about student accommodation in Germany, and I was lucky that I could stay in a dormitory room for the first semester. In big cities like Berlin, like Munich, you wouldn't be able to that easily get a room in a dormitory, and you would really spend lots of time looking for a place where you're gonna stay. In Mainz, I knew people who were suffering from this problems with accommodation, and maybe they didn't start their searching quite early. I don't know what was the reason, but they lived the first semester in Airbnb, and imagine how expensive it is. They spend lots of money on their living costs. So yes, this small cities like Mainz, they have lots of benefits, and these are basically the four reasons why I chose to study there and why I didn't go to Nuremberg or to Munich. The other two options were Fulda and Viadrina. So Fulda University is in the small town of Fulda. It's also in this area in Frankfurt a Main area, but a bit further. It has more disadvantages in terms of location and also jobs. Yes, one important thing is also jobs, right? Opportunities that the place offers. So Mainz, because it is Mainz itself has lots of companies where you can apply for internship, but I found internship in Frankfurt, and it wasn't a problem for me to move to Frankfurt. It was close. So also when you choose a place where you want to study, I would say right away choose a place where you will have you will build your network, you will be able to find internship, make friends, and settle. Just you don't want to study in one place and then move to the other end of the country for settling your life. At least in my opinion, that's not worth it. Yes, look at the opportunities the location offers, and don't chase necessarily the big cities, but also I wouldn't recommend going into very small, boring towns. So that was the reason why I didn't choose University of Viadrina, which was in Frankfurt Oder, and Frankfurt Oder is a small village type town in the north of Germany, where there is nothing except for Berlin, and I think I would have to travel like 1 hour at least to Berlin if I want to have some social life, to go out. So for that reason I didn't go to that university, even though it's quite prestigious, and it's more prestigious than the university where I studied. But what I want to say, in the end, it doesn't matter how the reputation of the university also doesn't matter that much when you look for internship, and that I'm going to cover in my next video. So please subscribe. Unless you are yourself interested in having this prestigious diploma, prestigious degree, there is nobody else who is going to be interested in that. And in terms of quality of education, I would say in Germany, more or less, it's even everywhere. It doesn't matter if you study in a big university or a small university, it's good everywhere. And it also doesn't depend whether you study in big city or a small town or a village. These public universities in Germany, they all have very decent level of education. For that matter, I never cared that I just completed University of Applied Sciences in Mainz. In conclusion, choosing a less prestigious university near big cities can offer many benefits, but it's not just about the university's reputation, it's also about practical experience, about location, and overall the quality of life during your studies. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach me either per email or left a comment under this video. If you like this video, that will motivate me to do more content about my experience, both about studying experience and also working experience in Germany as an expat in general. I'm thankful that you watched this video. Stay tuned, there is more to come.